Muslims that just came from paganism, from Jahiliyyah. That's why they say old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. It's not easy to get rid of all the habits that you used to have. It takes time to get rid of them. So when they passed by another loot tree, said, "Oh, Prophet of Allah, this is another tree. Please, let us put our swords in there, hang our arms. Let's do this." The Prophet ﷺ said, "Allahu Akbar," exclaiming. This is what? Exclaiming, "Allahu Akbar." What are you saying? What are you doing? Do you know what the meaning of what you are saying? You want me to sanction shirk for you? But the Prophet ﷺ, he knew they were just yesterday, they were mushriks. So he started to teach them. But he corrected them immediately. See, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ would not keep quiet if something wrong is mentioned. Are you following? He would correct. That's why they say, if something happened in front of him and he kept quiet, that means it is okay. Yeah, you understand? Something done in front of him and he kept quiet, it means it is halal. Like the dab, the reptile lizard, big lizard, was given to the Prophet ﷺ and it was cooked and roasted. And they gave it to the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ did not eat it. Khalid ibn al-Walid happened to be present. Khalid, he said, "Aharamun huwa ya Rasulullah? Is it haram?" He said, "No, it's not haram, but I don't like it." Khalid said, "فَيْتَرَرْتُهُ فَأَكَلْتُهُ وَرَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَيْهِ." Khalid said, "I dragged it. I took the plate and I started eating it. And the Prophet ﷺ was watching." MashaAllah alayk ya Khalid. Yes, Khalid, this is the sword of Allah. Sayfullah al-Maslul. Khalid ibn al-Walid. So I started eating it. This means what? It proves what? That the dab halal or haram? Halal. But if you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. But don't say to people whom they like eating it that it is haram. Is this clear? So if the Prophet ﷺ, he saw something happening and he kept quiet, that means it is okay. It is permissible. Are you following? Okay. So here the Prophet ﷺ, when they told him this is a tree, he said, "Allahu Akbar. You have said exactly like what Banu Israel said to Musa." Immediately Banu Israel, they just came. They left the sea. The moment they stepped out, they passed by people worshipping idols, gods, false deities. Say, "Oh Musa, make us another god for them to worship." You forgot Allah saved us now and you want us to make shirk? اجعل لنا إلها كما لهم آلهة قال إنكم قوم تجهلون. You are ignorant people. You don't know. Now I'm asking to request from Musa to make you a god. Is this iman? Is this belief or disbelief? Tell me. Disbelief. Kufr. But did Musa, did he announce them or declared or treated them or considered them? Did he consider them disbelievers? Why? They were what? Ignorant. Jahil. know what they say is kufr. The statement is wrong. But because they are ignorant. That means a person might say kufr, but not necessarily he becomes kafir immediately. Are you following? Be careful. The statement is kufr, but the person himself, a person making bid'ah, the action is bid'ah, but the person not a mubtadi'. Unless he knows that this is bid'ah. Unless he knows that this what he is doing is kufr. Is this clear? And here the Prophet ﷺ, he told them what you have said is kufr. It is exactly equal to the request of Bani Israel. Are you following? The Prophet ﷺ, he made the two statements equal to each other. Said this is like that. That statement is kufr and this statement is kufr, disbelief. But did he treat them as disbelievers? Did he tell them that you became murtad, apostate? You apostated? No. Why? They were ignorant. That's why they say, Hudatha ahd. We just left the paganism. We don't know. We don't know. And this is the mercy of Allah. Allah holds you accountable when you know what you are doing. If you don't know, Allah will not punish you. You don't know. So if you know, then that's a big problem. And our duty is to make the people what? To know. Our duty is to educate the people and to make them know, so they will not have excuse later on. You know it is wrong. So the Prophet ﷺ said then after that, لَتَرْكَبُنَّ سَنَنَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. He said, verily you will follow the footsteps of those who preceded you. And another narration, he said, شبرا بشبر وذراعا بذراع حذو القدة بالقدة حتى لو دخلوا يحرى ضب لدخلتموه. Subhanallah. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, you are going to follow the footsteps of those who preceded you. Who are they? Jews and Christians. That you Muslims, you will imitate them and follow them. And this is what is happening. You find the Muslims, they are following the Jews and the Christians. Following their habits, following their customs, following everything. Oh, it is the fashion. This is the fashion. This is the fashion. Today, you Muslim girl, show your navel. Show your belly button. So whatever the kuffar are doing, you do the same thing. In everything. They celebrate birthdays, you celebrate birthdays. Happy birthday to you. Huh? Everything. Muslims are following them. As the Prophet ﷺ, you are going to follow them blindly. You are not going to take the good things, technology. No, the bad things you are going to take. And you find the Muslimat, they are taking them as their examples. 50 years back, no one could imagine that a Muslimah would walk showing most of her body is naked. Who could believe this? Because we see it today. You see the mother is wearing hijab, her daughter next to her, completely different, without comments. If you tell them, they say, this is another time, they tell you, the parents. This is another generation, not What generation? You are responsible before Allah. It is your responsibility to take care of your children. Didn't Allah say, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِكُمْ نَارًا وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. O you who believe, save yourselves and your wives and your children a fire whose fuel will be rock and men. And you say, let them enjoy their life. So, we see this. Whatever they do, in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, and if it happened, if they, that means Jews and Christians, if they commit incest, the incest, that means, a'udhu billah, to have a relationship with daughter or mother